Hello and welcome to the final single-digit week of the NFL season, Week 9. It's going to be a good one, and I'm pretty excited. But I'll let you guys kick things off with some of the recaps. I don't know which one of you guys want to go
We'll
first.
work our way up. Chris, you can start.
All right. Well, we played the Ravens. It didn't go to plan. No Lamar. We still didn't come out with a win. We started off pretty decent, but when you don't get 4 turnovers in a game, I guess we're not gonna win.
Yeah.
A lot of question marks with Caleb, but we'll get into that later. Defense is a little banged up, but that's been the story the whole year. But yeah, kind of a disappointment of a day. I took a very long nap afterwards and tried to forget it because was not a very fun watch, to be honest with you. Not a lot of points were scored, not a ton of offense from either side, really. Unless you like Tyler Huntley doing RPO for, 30 times a game. But we didn't get the win. It was a very winnable game and a game that we thought we weren't going to win at the start of the year, and we still didn't win, even though Lamar Jackson was not there. So not a great game for us. Yeah.
No, not a good game. Caleb Williams, second week in a row, no passing touchdowns. Something's going on there with Caleb. They need to figure it out. Packers got a huge W against Aaron Rodgers. That was really cool to do. Felt good. Felt really good, especially having Jordan Love probably play his best game of his career, one of at least. I mean, I could probably name 2 other ones off the top of my head, but I wouldn't go with this one. I liked it a lot, especially against his, predecessor or whatever you call it, and, he's the Padawan or whatever, the master versus the apprentice. It was really cool for him to do that in front of Aaron Rodgers. Broke Brett Favre's streak of 20 completions in a row in a game. So that was pretty cool. But him and Tucker Kraft, that duo just looks unreal. And Packers are rolling. 5-1-1. Pretty nice.
Yeah. I tapped into your psychology from a couple years back when just going against the team and hoping they win in reality. And it ended up working. It was pretty cool. In hindsight, I don't want this Dolphins team to continue winning games. I'm a fan. I'll root for them. I'm happy with wins. But at the end of the day, the position this team is in, they're not a playoff contender. They're not nowhere near being a Super Bowl contender. So, just wash away the season. But a win every now and then is pretty nice. And especially in the fashion that they did it, they finally, dominated the game. It was against Kirk Cousins, not against Michael Penix. But it was cool to still, at the end of the day, see the Dolphins win. Wish I would have picked them in reality because then, that would have helped some of the standings here.
You think the Dolphins can run the table?
Dude,
you don't believe? You're not a believer?
I hate that the Dolphins do this, almost every time. They'll start off 1-7 and then freaking go on this 8-game winning streak. And then it's, down to the final game of the year. Can they make the playoffs? It's just I've seen the song and dance too many times to be oh, let's go for it. This is not the situation to be in. If we had a healthy Tyreek, if we had a little bit more optimism surrounding the defense, fine, maybe. If you can get in the dance, things can happen. But at this point in time, this is not the team that you want making the playoffs, right? So I'd rather it be allotted for someone else like the Broncos, the Chiefs to get into the playoffs rather than the Dolphins in reality, because those are teams that will make some noise and do something with it, because the AFC West is going to be crazy. That wild card is going to be slotted pretty much all AFC West.
I agree.
But let's move on to the leaderboard.
Let's do it.
We'll kick it to Joey because he's our new leader in the clubhouse.
Only 3 L's on the week. Yeah, I'm tied for first, but, only picked 3 L's last week, 10-3 week, which is really good. Just getting these really good weeks. I think I had 1 week where I had 7 losses. I went 7-7, but I've never had a week below 500.
Yeah.
So just stacking the W's where I can. And luckily, picking my team has gone well for me this year because they're doing well. So, that helps a lot, too. But, yeah, top of the leaderboard for the first time since I started. So
yes, sir.
It's pretty cool.
He's tied for first place with Racy with a 86-35 record. I don't know what gave you the hierarchy in terms of
I don't know. Maybe I had a couple better
spot.
Weeks or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the same record, but
I guess since you had the more recent better week, because he went 9-4. Aside from that, in second place, we have a 2-way tie between Matt and Steve at 83-38 overall. Matt had a 10-3 week, and I think Joey had the best week tied with Matt. Same with Sean. All you guys went 10-3. Moving on down the list, in sixth place, we have myself after going 8-5. I have a 76-45 record. And then moving on just a little bit further down, we got Chrissy in eighth place. What's your overall record, Chris?
Not doing so hot right now. I'm at 73-48. I'm not doing, terrible. Just 9-6, 9-4, 9-6,
You're
had
winning.
11-5. I'm not doing terrible. Just I'm not having a. I need a really really big week to kind of get back in the mix here, and maybe I'll catch DJ and do a perfect week. We haven't seen that in a while. So.
Yeah, we haven't. I thought I was gonna get her.
That was close. You had a
I'm
15
looking for
in
it.
1 week.
I know.
One time. And there's been perfect weeks that have been during bye weeks. There's very little perfect weeks when there's all 16 games are going on.
Yeah.
So that would have been really cool to see.
Damn.
But let's keep it moving. We finally get into Thursday Night Football, and I'll lead us off here since the Dolphins are hosting the Baltimore Ravens. Listen, Baltimore just got a big-time win a game that they weren't expected to against the Bears. Chris can attest to that when we get to him. Dolphins, pretty much same thing there. No one was really expecting them to win, and myself included, and they go out and dominate a Michael Penix-less Falcons team. I almost slipped up there. I almost said some crazy stuff. But aside from that, Tua, man, I think he needs to just blow out his eyeball every time before the game. Put an eye patch over it. I sent you guys a couple pictures of the guys with the Tua with the eye patch on. Listen,
Tua Aspinall.
Yeah, Tua Aspinall too. Yeah, he got poked in the eye or something. Look, man, I'm not expecting much out of this Dolphins team. Lamar Jackson is expected to start. Lamar is always great, especially back at home. When I say home, Miami, South Florida, because he is a Broward native. But aside from that, I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins. We're going to turn this light back on for just momentarily, just because they finally got on the board and got a big win. Hopefully they can get one on Thursday Night Football. I love, night games at the Hard Rock. But aside from that, this Baltimore Ravens team isn't anything to scoff at, despite their record. I think things are going to be trending up for them. They have a favorable run to the AFC North, at least in the AFC playoff picture. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, they had some big help getting a big win against the Bears last week. Steelers took an L, Browns took an L, and the Bengals all took an L. So it was a great week to be a Baltimore Ravens fan. I think that the winning continues this week, and I'm going to rock with them on Thursday night primetime in Miami. Lamar's back home. You got to rock with him. Hopefully he has a great game and puts Broward County on notice, baby. Let's go.
I feel like since I've lived down here, this has been a Thursday night football game 2 or 3 times, I want to say. Or maybe it was Monday night. I don't know. But you guys have played each other in some primetime games. Ravens have, I think, won all of them, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to still take the Ravens. Lamar's coming back. They average 25 more points whenever he's in that game. Maybe he's a little rusty. Maybe he's not. I think they really just held him out of the Bears game just as a precaution. So he's 100%. Plus they got the win anyway. So I think they continue. Try to get the season back on track. I don't know. It might be too late. But I think the Ravens, if they just shut down Waddle, they're gonna beat the Dolphins pretty easily.
Well, that's one thing real quick I would attest to is Dolphins tried something different in this past game against the Falcons, and that was running jumbo set, having 6 offensive linemen on the field. And that's something that I've been pounding the table for Mike McDaniel to do. Just run the football. Just stuff it down the defense's throat. You need to just have a physical presence.
Yeah.
And that's something that's been lacking since Mike McDaniel has become the head coach of this Dolphins team. Now moving forward, you keep on establishing stuff like that, especially with the lack of no Darren Waller, no Tyreek Hill. You just got to rely on that running game. And I liked what they did against Atlanta. I hope they can replicate it. That's the hope here with picking them. But honestly, you can't really tell what this Miami Dolphins team is. It's just a crapshoot every time. It's just they did this really good last week. They're not going to do it great this following week.
Maybe if Tua just holds his eye closed for the rest of the season, he might be able to turn the season around. But
maybe.
Well, that was your first time all season running 6 offensive linemen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, first time in the Mike McDaniel era. So.
I thought that's what they had said too. I don't know why that's the first time. You guys have had pretty decent running backs.
Yeah.
I mean, and that rookie's actually looking pretty decent.
Yeah, Ollie Gordon's pretty decent. I think
he's huge though. He's 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, they need.
Yeah.
They need a bowling ball. They need a wrecking ball. They need somebody to freaking nail somebody. Devon Achan's the speed back, and then they need somebody to pound the rock.
Yeah. So pretty much it's been weird how they've been using the running backs in terms of Ollie Gordon's a third down back. He's trying to get you that short yardage, but he can bust open and get a long, quick gain as well. Achane is elusive, shifty, every down type of back. And then Jalen Wright is a little bit more of the speedster in terms of what his specialty is.
Right on.
So, I mean, he came into the game too. So Dolphins went all around really well running the ball. So hopefully that carries over into this week.
I agree. I'll keep us pushing, though. We got the Atlanta Falcons, who are hot off a loss against the Miami Dolphins, playing the New England Patriots, who are doing pretty damn well. Winners of 5 straight, I think it is. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Really playing good football over in New England. Lock me in. I mean, the Patriots are just so freaking good right now. It's weird to say because I think I said it a couple weeks ago that whenever I see the Patriots logo, I just kind of want to hate them. And now I'm like, let me rethink it. They're kind of a fun team to root for. So I like them. They're up and coming. They're definitely a playoff team in my eyes. Give me the New England Patriots.
I like what I'm seeing from the Patriots so far, especially with the new head coach, Vrabel. It looks great. I'm going to take the Patriots. They're the better team right now, at least. The Falcons don't know who's going to play quarterback, so that's too big of a question mark for me, and I haven't really liked what I've seen from the Falcons. I mean, they had, 1 week where, every one of those draft picks hit, and they all played great, and no one else has really played good since. So I'm going to take the Patriots. They're at home. They're favored by 5, so I think it's an easy lock.
Yeah, no, I got to agree with both of you guys. Let's go with the New England Patriots all around the board here. The Falcons, from what I saw last week as a Dolphins fan, it was just really piss poor performance. But as far as what we've seen from them as a season so far, they're very up and down. Who knows who's going to be starting at quarterback, like Chris said. Penix is still dealing with injury. Bijan arguably coming off one of his worst games in his career. So that's one thing I will say. Expect them to have an increase from last week. I don't know how much because the Patriots defense is pretty solid. So I wouldn't put it too much past Vrabel to not have a similar game plan. Dolphins didn't really fall for motion screens, etc. that would open up some man type of coverage in the running game, and that's really where they capitalize and stopping the run there. So
I think they got banged up a little too. Didn't Drake London get hurt too?
Yeah, he was out as well.
Yeah, so it's tough.
Yeah. No, really quick before we keep moving, just want to shout out Morning Locks. For this one, they have the under at 45, and they suggest to take that one. I got to agree with them. I think this is going to be a very defensive/bad offensive game for the Falcons, defensive in terms of the Patriots. So unless the Patriots have another big-time explosion, which I don't think is going to happen this week.
30.
Yeah, exactly.
I still think that the under is probably the safer bet.
For sure. All right, Joey, take us to this next game. What do you got?
Hot, white hot, literally. Green Bay Packers hosting the Carolina Panthers, who look like hot garbage. They looked really bad against the Buffalo Bills last week. I don't know if Bryce Young's coming back. I think that they're saying that he's practicing or whatnot, but it might be Andy Dalton again for them. They're coming into Lambeau. We're wearing our throwback unis with the faux leather helmets. I'm pumped up for this game. It will be Jordan Love's 27th birthday on Sunday that they're playing. Whenever Green Bay quarterbacks are 27 years old, they win the Super Bowl. Bart Starr, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers, all 27 years old, have won the Super Bowl. Not saying that's going to happen, but something to look forward to. Pretty cool. So let's hope Jordan Love has another good game. He looked like freaking Superman last week. It was awesome.
Go ahead.
I'm probably going to take the Packers, although I'd love to see a Panthers get a sneaky win. They played some teams tough. I mean, they beat Dallas. Besides that, they've beaten some bad teams like the Jets and stuff like that. The Falcons, like the last game we were just talking about. I don't think they can go into Green Bay and get a win. They're playing too good right now. They're too deep. Bryce Young comes back. He gives them slightly, I think, a better chance than Andy Dalton, but I mean, Green Bay minus 12.5. That tells you right there what people think about this game. I think it's an easy pick. I'm taking the Packers.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste anyone's time. I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. This is something that we previewed for the Cincinnati game. The Packers are wearing their throwback uniforms with the hand-painted leather helmets. And I think it's going to be one of the sickest things we've seen on an NFL field in a really long time. Like you said, the jerseys, standalone. People are like, well, that's the Packers jersey? But that's how it used to look back in the day.
Definitely weird seeing them in the blue and gold. But, yeah, that's definitely how they looked back in the day when they were the Acme Packing Company, sponsored by them. And, that's what they're rocking with. So I'm if they didn't have the faux leather helmet, I don't think that this uniform would really be that great.
Yeah,
but
just like a plain
they did that helmet so well. I'm so excited to see that. The defense is playing unreal. The offense is freaking clicking. Christian Watson's back. Let's fucking go. Come on. Let's make them look good.
Let's go.
All right, next game up, we got my Chicago Bears going to the Cincinnati Bengals. When I saw these games back-to-back at the start of the year, Ravens, then Bengals, I thought this was going to be really bad for us. I mean, we lost last week, but it was Tyler Huntley, and then we have, who knows for the Bengals. They might play 3 different quarterbacks this week. No Joe Burrow, to say the least. I'm going to take the Bears on the road here. I don't think the Bengals are great. I think best case scenario, Trey Hendrickson gets traded before this game. Honestly, I was rooting for Lamar to be out, and that didn't help. So maybe rooting for this won't help either. But I don't know. Joey asked me earlier today like who we were playing, and I was like, I don't even know. I had to look it up. Very much taking this week by week, as I think all Chicago Bears fans are. We didn't look great last week, but that doesn't mean we can't come back and look really nice, get a big win, stay alive, stay relevant in playoff and division talks. I think Minnesota has a really tough game this week, so I don't envision them winning, and I think we could have a chance to maybe jump them and pick up a game. But, yeah, give me the Bears on the road. We need to figure some stuff out. Tyson Bagent apparently is splitting first-team reps this week to try to make things a bit more competitive for Caleb. I think one of you guys told me a stat that after, like, the first 15 plays, Caleb Williams basically sucks ass. Which, if you've watched any of the games, you know, like, you get so excited. You're like, oh, wow, what a
Fires you up right off the rip.
Drive, dude. Like, what a first drive. And then it's just, like, everything outside of that, it's like, what are you doing, dude? You're scrambling around, throwing the ball in the dirt. Like, you look like a shitty shortstop, honestly.
The specific stat is, like, the first drive, Caleb Williams hits over 80% of his passes. And I think every drive has resulted in a touchdown. I mean, except for these past couple weeks. But overall, he's averaging a touchdown on the first drive. But now, I think after the first drive, it's under 50% he's completing his passes. So something's going off where he can come out, the scripted plays happen, he can make it work, but something about when he needs to make game adjustments within the game and take it to that next level, he freezes up. He can't do it. And what was really bad in the Baltimore game was when he threw that interception when they were backed up basically on their own goal line.
Yeah.
And he throws that's automatic points going the other way. Not that I haven't seen the greats do it. I've seen Josh Allen do that. I've seen Mahomes do stuff like that. I mean, I've even seen Love do it, Herbert, all of them. But
it's going to take some time.
It's going to be gradual. Yeah.
I think a lot of people are still figuring out this Ben Johnson offense. Our left tackle got abused last week, too, which is why I hope Trey Hendrickson gets traded. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. I didn't love the play calling. We threw it to the tight end on the first play of the game, and he had, like, a first down, and then we don't throw it to him until, like, the fourth quarter where he has, like, another 15-yard pickup. I think we have to start not just targeting Odunze. I don't know if that's a Caleb problem or if it's like a safety blanket that he can't get away from, but he literally throws it to him 15 times a game and like 3 times to everyone else.
They're in a funk. It's just no doubt about it. They're in a funk. I mean, one could say that they rattled off four wins against some of the league's worst, but like they showed a lot of promise. Caleb was looking hot to start the year. You can slump in October and still come back. In this division, you got to win this game here. You got to beat the Bengals. You can't separate yourself within this division because it's so tight. For the sake of wanting the separation, I'm going to rock with the Bengals. If Flacco doesn't play and it's Browning again, I'm 100% changing my pick because Browning sucks. I know Flacco got a little bit banged up last week, so hopefully he plays because he's really good for this team. They're a completely different team. A whole new identity with Joe Flacco in Cincinnati. They had a really weird loss against the Jets, who kind of played for Nick Mangold, which rest in peace and all thoughts and prayers to the Mangold family because he was a legend growing up. When I saw that tweet, it definitely gave me a shock. But we'll get into the Jets a little bit later. But yeah, I'm going to rock with the Bengals here. Big bounce back win.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. Like that loss by the Bengals is very shocking. In hindsight, the Jets were playing in the spirit of Nick Mangold. So, shout out to them to getting a win on such like a emotional day for a lot of Jet fans because he was a pillar of that Jets team, especially through the early 2000s and stuff like that. So, hearts out to him. But yeah, this Bengals team they folded super late in the game. Joe Flacco was like leaving to the locker room on that final Jets touchdown drive. Comes right back out. He's like, Browning, you're not touching this football. So he came back out. Fortune couldn't get it done. This Bears team has been a little weird for me. Every time I think they're in a good position to win a game this season, they do the complete opposite, and then vice versa. I think, oh, they have no chance this week, and then they go out and get like a big time win. So I'm just like, man, like I don't know what to do with this Bears team. So I'm gonna pick against them. I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I've liked what I've seen with Joe Burrow, similar to what Joey said. If Browning is playing,
Joe Flacco.
we're going. I'm saying, but if Browning ends up playing, I'm gonna switch to the Bears.
Yeah,
like
no,
Joey
I
said.
agree.
Yeah, because I don't see it with Browning. I see it with Flacco. I think he's.
I got
been
one
very
more
good.
thing.
Good.
I don't understand why Jake Moody was great for us the last 2 weeks. We get this fucking Cairo Santos back, and right off the bat, granted it was like a 57, 55-yard field goal. Dude comes up like 10 yards short. Like, why? Why bring him back? When Moody he just went like, I don't know, like 10 for 11 or something like that.
I feel the
10
same
for
way with. We did the
like-
same thing with McManus. He had to get a 57-yarder, like literally missed it, like short. It was striped it, but short. And I'm like, why the fuck would we bring this guy back right now?
Yeah.
Let him sit a week because Harversick hit a 61-yarder before. He was striping him all.
Well, we know this guy doesn't have a big leg. Like,
Right.
why not ride with the guy that's been hot? Like, I don't know. That pissed me off. I think that's gonna have an effect on some games going forward. Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
Go
we'll
ahead,
see.
Austin.
We'll see. All right, to continue on, we have the Denver Broncos at the Houston Texans. Man, this Denver Broncos team absolutely shut the door on the Dallas Cowboys. And it was to be expected. I kind of picked the Cowboys on like a separation type of pick. Ended up burning me at the end of the day because I could have had a pretty decent record last week. Aside from that, this Houston Texans, arguably one of the bigger surprises of the week. Given the caliber of team that they did defeat in the San Francisco 49ers, I was not expecting that whatsoever. But, you know, in hindsight, you got to think, all right, they had a really bad game in Seattle. They got to follow it up at home with a big-time matchup. They're wearing their alternate uniforms, X, Y, and Z, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to still take the Denver Broncos on the road here. They haven't really showed me anything outside of me being dumb last week to pick against them. So, yeah, let's go Broncos.
Yeah, I'm rocking with the Broncos as well. I've said it for a while that the Broncos haven't very much excited me. Whenever I see them, they don't really turn me on and make me, their matchups don't excite me.
Mm-hmm.
The script is flipped. I think that the Broncos are a fun team to watch now, man. Bo Nix is coming into his own. The offense is freaking cool. They remind me of the AFC version of the Packers, where they have a handful of household names, and aside of that, they just have a bunch of dudes playing freaking football, and it's awesome to see. R.J. Harvey's getting going. Bo Nix is looking freaking incredible. I'm rocking with the Broncos here, man. They're freaking awesome to watch.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos. One thing to keep an eye on is their only losses this year has come on the road, although the Texans' very disappointing year this year. I don't really think they put up too much of a fight. You mentioned R.J. Harvey, had 3 touchdowns last week.
Yep.
Shout out UCF, so love to see that.
You called it, too. You said you needed him to have a big pop-off game
Didn't
for
matter.
fantasy. You didn't start him?
No, I started him.
Oh.
Did not matter.
okay.
I got destroyed. Got destroyed in that league. I won in the work league, but in the 2 sleeper leagues, I'm down bad.
Really?
It's bad.
Damn, okay.
It's bad.
Let me
But,
trade, bro. Damn.
But I'm going to take the Broncos. I think they're the better team. They're not super exciting, and maybe you don't know everyone on the team, but they get it done. They have a good coach. They're disciplined, and they don't make a ton of mistakes. Houston Texans, however, are the opposite of that. They have some talent. You know a lot of the dudes, but they just can't seem to get things together. That defense is bad. That O-line sucks. And the Broncos, with one of the best defenses in the league, should dominate this Houston team.
One quick thing before we move on. Patrick Surtain suffered an injury in the last game
IR.
against the Cowboys. He's on the IR, so something to monitor. See how the defense plays differently without one of the best corners in all of NFL right now. Without having him there, it could be a good day for C.J. Stroud passing, but then again, the receiving core is decimated. Nico Collins and Christian Kirk are all questionable. So that's something to keep an eye on moving forward. Who wants to take us to this next
I got you. We got Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts going to Pittsburgh to face off against Rodgers, fresh off an L against the Packers. Give me the Colts, man. This is freaking easy to pick. Jonathan Taylor is top 5 in MVP voting, looking like he kind of should be the MVP, but we all know they won't give it to a running back. I like what I see from their offense. They're unreal. Their defense is really solid, too. They're a good team all around. Shout out to Carly Ursay. She's freaking putting on for the owners, man. She's setting an example. Really cool to see. Pittsburgh Steelers, that defense, highest paid defense in the NFL, old and can't keep up. Jordan Love diced him up last week. I think Daniel Jones dices him up this week. Give me the Colts.
That was something that me and Chris kind of went back on forward on. He broke it down between the Packers and the Steelers defense, and he had more faith in the Steelers defense. I disagreed, and it was mostly because of that age gap that you were saying. That was the biggest takeaway in terms of why I didn't agree with that. But aside from that, this Pittsburgh team is interesting. Now I think they'll make the matchup close. In terms of gambling, maybe you want to take a +3 for the Steelers. But aside from that, you got to go with the Colts here. They've been absolutely dominating other teams. They have been beating on bad teams for sure. I don't think Pittsburgh is a bad team. So that's where the thing gets a little bit interesting. I think the matchup stays a little close in terms of gambling lines. Chris, how you feeling about this one?
Not going to lie, I kind of want to take the Steelers at home and try to pick up a win on you guys. But, yeah, I was kind of wrong about that Steelers defense. I'm not going to lie. I mean, they have stars. They have talent. They're just underperforming, maybe aging rapidly, not very high in the defensive rankings. I guess I'm going to just try to keep pace with y'all. I'm going to take the Colts. They look great. If they go to 8-1, that is very surprising to me. This is absolutely reminds me of the Vikings of last year. I don't know if they keep it up. Maybe they do, and maybe they hit the playoffs and they remain hot. But this is craziness to me that this team is going to be 8-1.
I keep forgetting that you compare them to that team, the Vikings of last year. You're so right. You're so right about that. Every time you say it, I'm like, yes. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
I'm like, yeah, it's very similar. Similar kind of quarterback style between, the quarterback, Darnold last year for the Vikings and Daniel Jones this year.
New team. Trying to save their career.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody expected them to
defense.
be freaking shit, maybe a middle of the pack within their division. No, man, the Colts are impressive. As for the Steelers defense, one more nugget I will say. I think T.J. Watt in the past 315 days has had 5 sacks. In the past 315 days.
Yeah, not good.
Last week, Myles Garrett had 5 sacks in a game. So, something's going on there, too. Is T.J. Watt.
Will Howard, too. After he was like, if a defensive lineman gets a sack a game, he makes the NFL and gets paid. If I give up a sack a day, I work at Amazon. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, buddy, you just give up 5. Granted, to the best guy in the NFL, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But
pretty weird shit going on for the Steelers defense.
I'll keep us pushing. We got another team in this division talking about the Colts. The Titans are hosting the Chargers. Titans stink. I really haven't watched any of the Titans this year. I'm going to take the Chargers, make it easy. Herbert's back in MVP talks. Now everyone's back in on him. I've been in on him. The team just needs to get healthy. He needs better players around him, in my opinion, to really do something in the future. And with Mahomes getting hot right now, it's not looking great for these Chargers, but they pick up an easy win on the road.
Yeah, they're coming out with a new movie. It's called Forgetting the Titans. They're terrible. Fuck for Remember the Titans. Nobody's going to remember this Titans team.
Dude. You don't want to hear what I have to say.
I know. We won't get into that. But Titans are looking terrible. I don't think anybody on that team is – I don't think I can name a soul outside of Cam Ward right now, which is a little sad. Like you said, I just don't really want to watch them. Yeah, give me the Chargers. Justin Herbert, fucking looking awesome. Looking brilliant this year, honestly.
And he's been getting around all of South
he's
California.
He's sitting courtside at the Lakers game, and he's at the World Series with Justin Bieber on a double date too. Yeah. That's we all know who he's with. We know what's going on there. It's a little magic in the water we're going on with Justin Herbert, but yeah, we're gonna rock with him in the chat.
I liked it better when he was dating the sports reporter. I like that narrative better. But I don't know these stars, these Madison Beer and all that. But I don't know who the hell.
Does he still have the long hair? Or does he have the short hair?
He has kind of like middling.
When he had the long hair, he looked like Artie from Shrek the Third. Look it up.
The
Justin Timberlake's character.
The little twink.
Yeah. His hair is a little bob.
Oh, God. It's a bob. Yeah. All right. Well, getting back to football, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Chargers. Titans really haven't done much to entertain the thought of picking them, especially against a Chargers team like this who have been relatively well. They dominated the Vikings on Thursday Night Football. Speaking of, we're going to go now to the Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions, a big-time NFC North matchup. everything's on the line for the Minnesota Vikings at this point. You know, you're already below 500. McCarthy's been out for a while. The speculation is that he is going to come back. So let's see if he does suit up for this one, because I don't think the Vikings organization, fans, the team itself cannot stand another game of Carson Wentz. It's been great to have you around, buddy, but we need our young guy back in the helm. And I'm pretty sure the Vikings all around are really excited to see that happen. Detroit, coming off the bye, got to come out and dominate the home field and get a win here and really establish, like, they've been the team in the NFC North who's been running it for the last couple of years, right? Now they want to, you know, this is where you put someone in the dirt and you keep it moving and you just keep on progressing forward and forward and forward. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions, but the Vikings should make things interesting should J.J. McCarthy play.
I don't think even if the Vikings fans wanted Carson Wentz to play, they don't have a fucking choice. He's hurt. He's out for the season. He's done.
Oh, Wentz?
Yeah, he's done.
Because it was his left arm, right?
He's done.
Okay,
yeah,
good,
so
good.
it's Brosmer and J.J. McCarthy, and they're going to have to find a third-string quarterback. Look, the Vikings could have signed Aaron Rodgers this offseason, really stirred the pot, really started, you know, that whole narrative with the Favre shit. They didn't. They decided to go in this direction, and it's not really working out for them. I'm rocking with the Detroit Lions. How can you not? They've looked really, really good this year offensively. They've had a couple losses against really good teams, too. Like, I mean, the Packers and the Chiefs are both their two losses. Both probably contenders for the Super Bowl at this point, we could say. NFC, some of the best in their conference.
Yep.
So they haven't really lost to anybody bad. They're just, you know, kind of just getting outdueled in some scenarios. I don't think they get outdueled here. I think it's a big game for Detroit. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown keeps continuing his really nice fantasy trend and making me really eat my words of drafting Justin Jefferson over Amon-Ra St. Brown. Why? Looking back on it, like, why the fuck would I do that? Like, the quarterback was not even, like, it's just such a stupid thing to do, but
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Lions. They're not losing, following a bye to this Minnesota Vikings team. I think Bears fans really want that week 1 against the Vikings back. I think Detroit really wants week 1 against Green Bay back. Fortunately, that's not how the NFL works. Detroit's going to hand Minnesota an L this week, though, which will be their 3rd in a row, which is big for Bears. Staying alive, staying, you know, in the hunt.
On pace.
There's some weird shit going on in Minnesota. They might get in trouble because apparently J.J. McCarthy was not hurt last week, and they scratched him anyways because they're protecting him like a spoiled little child for some reason.
Like, I know he sucks.
Yeah,
I don't want to be embarrassed.
They don't want him to get hurt. I get it. Like, they don't. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's not good. Maybe he's not ready. Maybe they want to give him time. But you can't just say he's hurt when he's not hurt. And so they might get in trouble for that. And they lost Carson Wentz. Maybe that's bad karma, bad juju. I don't know. I'll keep it pushing. We got the San Francisco 49ers going to the New York Giants. This game is kind of weird for me. 49ers did not look very good last week. Giants lost pretty much the heart and soul of that team when Cam Skattebo. I don't know if he'll come back from that. That looked really bad. He didn't really break anything, but when you do something like that, you tear like all the muscles and tendons. And I've done something similar. Like, I don't think you ever really get back to the same. It sucks. It looked gross. Give me the 49ers on the road. Who's starting? Is Purdy gonna come back? Do we know?
TBD.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter for me in this scenario, but if Purdy comes back, I think they'll look a bit better. But I'll take the 49ers on the road here.
Give me the Niners, man. I think that the Giants lost their heartbeat in Skattebo. That was a tough one.
Yep.
The whole entire ankle, foot, whatever, was bent the other way. I don't think he comes back from it this season. It's really hard. I loved watching him play, man. He's just one of those guys where it's just love or hate the Giants. Like, even all the Eagles fans gave him a standing ovation when he was getting carted off.
Big Dom.
Yeah, Big Dom gave him cheesesteaks and pizza in the hospital room. So there's a lot of love for Cam Skattebo throughout the entire league. So that sucks to see. 49ers, they got George Kittle back last week. He found his way into the end zone on National Tight Ends Day. I think that they need to get a little bit more juice going in this offense. They did take an L against the Texans. They tried to come back, but I think it was a little too late. But I don't know. It's such a sporadic 49ers team. They lose to these teams that they should wax the floor with, and they win against these teams that they shouldn't have any chance of beating. So really weird, very sporadic team. I don't think they played too many complimentary football this year, but I think they're a better team than the New York Giants, so I'm going to rock with the 49ers for that reason.
Yeah, as far as the 49ers go, like, I got to agree, like, that was a really bad performance, but it was one that they could afford to take. Right now, they're still tied for the lead in the NFC West, so anything is possible with this 49ers team. And, you know, the way they've been playing this year is just, like, it's so hard to, like, kind of get behind them because they've been dealing with all these injuries. But at the end of the day, like, the guys who've stepped in have stepped up big time, right? So hopefully all that continues progressing. I'm going to go with the 49ers. Like you guys said, the Cam Scadaboo injury is such a big blow, not only to, like, the Giants, but also people who, like, picked them up in fantasy, you know, stuff like that. But it hurts to see stuff like that happen to players who are having quite the rise in their career. And I think the tandem between him and Jackson Dart is big time. So that's going to definitely regress Jackson Dart a bit, and it's going to be a little bit concerning in terms of how his progression moves forward. Moving on, we're going to go to the 4 o'clock window now, where we have just, I think, 3 games here. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Las Vegas Raiders. Jacksonville coming off a bad loss in London. Then they had the bye week. Raiders just haven't really been great. They're also coming off a bye. I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've been showing us more, like, potential comparison to the Raiders. I don't really know what to expect with this Raiders team. Every time, you know, they have anything relative, it's a big letdown. You got something big?
Yeah, the Patriots are making a trade.
Ooh.
They just
they sent a safety to the
Steelers. They got Kyle Duggar. So
okay.
Little younger guy coming to the Steelers just to try to, you know, we were alluding to them earlier when we were talking about the Steelers, how decrepit and old that their defense is, even though that they are the highest paid. So trying to get a little younger, trying to fix that secondary after getting torched.
Especially with the Deshaun Elliott injury, so that's more than likely why they're making that move.
Kyle Duggar, the Patriots signed him to a $58 million 4-year $58 million deal last year. So
okay.
He's not bad.
Yeah, no, he isn't bad. That's actually really good. I think they only traded a 7th-round pick for him, too. So
that's not bad.
Kyle Duggar going to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you guys
No,
off.
it's all good. Pats probably just wanted to get that off their books. More than likely the explanation there. Just to reiterate anything else, just want to touch on the morning locks here. And this one has Jack's favored on the money line as well with the over at 45. They're suggesting to take the over. So if you haven't yet, check out Morning Locks on Instagram. And you'll see all these odds here. But what do you guys got here in this one?
I got the Jags, man. The Raiders have proven nothing for me to pick them. I think that they're really bad offensively. I think Geno Smith looks like the worst quarterback in the league. One has to wonder when they're going to make a switch off of him. I don't know if they still have that O'Connell guy.
Yeah, they do.
They got to play him again or whatever. I don't know.
He sucks.
Dude, they don't all sucks,
yeah,
man.
but it's better than old, decrepit Geno Smith. Like, you want to go to the younger guy who's going to be cheaper, who's going to have the more potential to develop. Like, you already know what you have with Geno.
They could even trade Geno.
Yeah.
They could even trade Geno right now to somebody that needs
Vikings.
him. Shit, yeah, the Vikings could use Geno. That would be freaking really good for them. I mean, and Geno's one of those guys where, like, he gets traded, culture change, like, he's going to turn it around, too. Like, he's just having a really bad year. He looks terrible. He's got, I think, over 12 interceptions on the season so far. Really bad fucking play from him. Genty looks like the only offensive shining star, which is kind of how Josh Jacobs was for many years for the Raiders. I think that he's kind of falling into that same role. The Jaguars, I think that didn't they get shit on by the Rams before their bye week? So
in London.
They're looking to get back in that win column. Travis Hunter looked pretty good too. He got in the end zone. So yeah, give me the Jags, man.
I'm a rock with the Jags. I'm not sure how comfortable I am in it though. They've looked really bad against West Coast teams this year. They've scored 12 and 7 points in the last 2 games. It's not very good. Honestly, I don't know what to think about Trevor Lawrence. I'm so out on him being a good like above average elite quarterback. Very disappointing, but Travis Hunter found the end zone. That's pretty cool. Hopefully this offense is better than 12 points and get to win over a really bad Raiders team, and the Jags could kind of stay a little relevant here and maybe sneak into
What's
like
their record?
a wild card. I think they're 4-2.
4-3.
4-3.
Yeah.
They could do something, man. I'm not counting them out by any means. I think that they could be a playoff team for sure. I think Trevor Lawrence has a lot to prove this year, man. People counting him out.
Well, speaking of the team that just shat all over them last week,
yeah,
I'll take us to the next game. We got the New Orleans Saints going to the Rams. I'm going to make it easy. The Saints suck. They're going to start Tyler Shuck at quarterback. Do you know who that is? Because I don't. I'm going to take the Rams.
What the shuck? Yeah, they're terrible. They're shucking awful. They shuck. However many puns you want to say it about New Orleans
One
Saints.
more.
Shit.
Oh, when the shucks.
Yeah.
Go watch
it. God, these guys shuck.
Oh.
Anyway, give me the Rams.
Shuck my balls.
Missed Puka Nakua. Missed Kyron Williams. Fantasy-wise, the Rams are one of those teams that are just like a gold mine for a lot of people. I feel like, most people look forward to watching the Rams play because a lot of people are either playing against a Ram in fantasy or have a Ram in fantasy. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of offensive firepower. Looking for a lot of that this week against a lowly Saints team. So, yeah, give me the Rams.
Did you call them a Little League Saints team?
Lowly.
Oh, lowly. Okay.
But they are a Little League Saints team.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams. It's a no-brainer here. They're heavily favored, which is always scary in terms of the gambling world. But aside from that, this Rams team hasn't really proven anything otherwise but to pick them in this situation. Saints going with a QB change. A lot of people are not a fan of it. A lot of people honestly like Spencer Rattler a little more than they like the optimism of their first-round pick in Tyler Shuck. Let's see if anything is worthwhile with him. A lot of questions about him heading into the draft, so interesting to see what he does in his first start. But the optimism isn't very high with him in his first start here, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll keep it moving to one of the better matchups of this entire week. We have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Buffalo Bills. This one's at 425. And, a couple weeks back, who would have thought the Bills wouldn't have been leading the AFC East and the Chiefs wouldn't have been leading the AFC West? Heading into the season, everyone would have told you you're crazy, heading into this matchup. Now both of these teams are trailing in their own divisions, and then on top of that, Kansas City looked like they were dead in the waters to start off the year. Finally getting hot. Things are working. Now they got a really big test in this Buffalo Bills team. Let's see what they make of it. They're on the road. They're favored, though, which is a little bit crazy to me in hindsight. Buffalo's a pretty decent team. You would think they'll be favored at home, but I don't know. Odd makers like this Kansas City team for some reason. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I think Josh Allen gets one up on Mahomes and the Chiefs, but in the past, in the playoffs, it doesn't work out well for them. Regular season, Josh Allen can muster out a win here, so let's see.
It hasn't been good for Josh Allen and the Bills against the Chiefs.
In general, but regular season, they actually get a couple wins there. Postseason, no chance.
I'm going to rock with the Bills. The line is kind of crazy, the spread, that is. It's kind of crazy. I think everyone's buying into the hype that Mahomes is back. The offense is back. Everything's back. They're going to the Super Bowl. Book his ticket for MVP. Heard that in the office today. I'm not really that high yet. I think they're very good. It's obviously Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Andy Reid, one of the best play callers, but I think the Bills get it done. This is a huge statement win for them. This is almost a must win. The Bills have dropped a couple easy ones, so checking off a hard one off the box would be great for them. So give me the Bills.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna go Chiefs here. I do. Unless Josh Allen puts a Superman cape on. The Bills haven't proved that they're a very good team. They've lost to a lot of teams that they should have beaten.
Yeah, they lost to the Pats and they lost to the Falcons. Sorry to cut you.
Yes, and they haven't really beaten anybody good. Mm-hmm. This is their first true test of a team to really beat right now. Kansas City, obviously, we know the rivalry between Mahomes and Allen. I just think I'm going to rock with Kansas City and their hot hand a little bit more. Ed Oliver's out for the year, it looks like. I don't know, man. The Bills secondary is just a little bit tough right now. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs here.
All right, take us to Sunday Night Football.
Who do we got, man? We got the Seattle Seahawks. This game sucks, dude. I'm not invested in this game at all. Sorry to sell it, but we got the Seattle Seahawks going to Washington against the Commanders. I'm not really with it of the Commanders if Jaden Daniels isn't playing. They look like ass against the Kansas City Chiefs. Seattle's kind of firing on all cylinders right now. They're clicking. Jackson Smith-Njigba looks like one of the top receivers in fantasy football right now. I think this is going to be a statement win for Seattle, and they're going to prove who they are offensively on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. Give me the Seattle Seahawks. Both teams will be wearing forms of their throwback uniforms. Commanders will still have the big W on the side of their helmet, but they'll have the more classic Washington white with burgundy pants uniform. So interesting to see, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense to go with the Washington Commanders, especially with the uncertainty of Jaden Daniels. Give me the Seattle Seahawks. They've been looking really good this season so far.
The throwback uniforms,
yes,
too.
Sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
sir.
not losing. They're not losing.
Yes, sir. And then real quick, bounce back to the morning locks. They have this one with the under in mind. Right now, it's set at 46.5, and they're taking under 46. So get it while you can, and it should be interesting their week of gambling.
That is interesting. You said that the Washington Commanders are going to have a big old W on the side of their head.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Commanders because they're going to get that W. They're going to eat a W, maybe. Shout out Jameis. But, yeah, I don't know. This is a kind of a toss-up game for me. I think if Jaden Daniels comes back, which I expect him to, he got a little extra time on a Sunday night game to get a little bit healthier. I think he is going to try very hard to get this Commanders team back on track quickly so they can remain in the playoff
They
hunt.
need this win.
They
need this win bad. I was thinking about it last night, watching them, and I was just like, you know what? Their season's going down the tubes, man.
Yep.
They got 5 losses already.
Mm-hmm.
You take 6 losses, man. You're not a playoff team. I don't
No.
care what it is, and it's not even double-digit weeks in the NFL yet. So
Yeah.
this is going nowhere fast, and they need to fix
Yeah.
it. They need Jaden Daniels back, even if he's 75%. He needs to be out there. This is for the rest of the season. They need to run the table.
Yeah.
So it's very tough for them.
The Seattle team is actually a pretty fun team.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people are really talking about them that much. I've watched a couple of games just because I have a lot of fantasy guys from Seattle, and they've been on a couple primetime games, I want to say, this year already, too. But they've been fun. I hope Kenneth Walker gets back in the mix so I can fucking trade him in fantasy finally. Haven't been able to offload that guy. I get offers for, like, a 3rd-round pick or something. I'm like, oh, my gosh. Anyways, I'll take us to the last game. This one kind of sucks, too. We got the Cardinals facing off against the Cowboys. I'm going to make it simple. Both teams suck. Give me the Cowboys, though. The offense is way better. They should just be able to outscore this Cardinals team. Cardinals team, your season's kind of done.
Mhm.
I hate to say it. Sorry. But maybe you get a high draft pick.
I don't even know when the hell Kyler Murray's coming back. I don't really care to know either. I'm so out on the Arizona Cardinals. They're not a good football team offensively. Defensively, they're not that bad of a squad. They're not that bad of a unit. The Cowboys have been so sporadic this year, but I think they get a W here against the Cardinals. Monday Night Football, prime time. They got their boys Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. We all know how much they love the fucking Cowboys. They're gonna be sauced up in the booth as always. So yeah, give me the Cowboys. I like what they're doing offensively, despite everything that they're not doing defensively. Last week was not very good for them, but Dak Prescott is having a great year. So I think he has a good game.
Aside from like the hiccup of last week, that like arguably one of their worst offensive outings. They did play a good defense in the Denver Broncos, so and they couldn't keep up with the offensive production, unfortunately. This week, I think they do get a bounce back win at home against the Arizona Cardinals. So give me the Dallas Cowboys. They really let me down last week with not doing the upset win, but you know it is what it is. You know, you take some, you win some, you lose. So it is what it is. But you know they still want to remain competitive in this NFC East, which you know the Eagles are looking to like they're going to continue running away with as long as they keep on beating these guys.
Yeah.
But that's about it for the picks. Real quick, let's touch on the teams on bye. We have the Cleveland Browns, New York Jets, Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jets got their first win. Cleveland not looking so great, but defense is there. Philly keep on rolling in the NFC East, and then Tampa Bay keep on chugging
There's some
along
weird
as well.
shit going on in Tampa Bay. I don't know. I think the season's good. They're good, but I think I don't.
They're getting healthy.
Baker had
They
a really
need this
bad
bye
game
week.
against the Saints.
They
It's
are
going to be an
desperate for this bye
interesting
week.
week for these teams on buys because the Jets are projected to be sellers. The Browns are probably going to be sellers, especially if they get what they want for Shador. He's going to be out of
And
there.
it'll be the trade deadline by the time next week,
so-
right?
I believe so. It should be week 12.
And
November 4th, yes. So this time
Yeah,
next week,
literally,
the
yeah,
trade
we'll
deadline
probably-
will be happening.
yeah.
So.
And you
Probably
know
have to do
Howie
it on
Roseman
Wednesday.
is going to be hitting. He's already hitting the phone.
He's gonna get Trey
trying to wheel
Hendrickson.
and deal.
I called it last week.
He's-
He's gonna get Trey
He's trying to
Hendrickson.
wheel and deal, which, funny enough, he was a Jets fan. I don't know if you guys heard that story. I just heard it for the first time. He was a Jets fan growing up, and they denied him a bunch of times for work, and he finally got work with the Eagles, and now he's a psycho for the Eagles and wants to kill the Jets. So maybe he trades for some of your favorite Jet players. Quinnen Williams?
Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson, maybe?
There we go.
Maybe a Brees Hall. I don't know. They don't need that, but
No.
he's very much the type of person that would just trade for him just so no one else can get him, though.
Yeah.
Which
They'll trade for Garrett Wilson just to be like,
yeah,
fuck it.
We'll bench him.
Throw him out there.
Yeah,
All right.
special teams.
Right, exactly.
Really quick while we still have some time. Favorite Halloween candy?
Okay.
Ooh.
Favorite Halloween candy? I'm allergic
It could be a chocolate or candy, like a sugary sweet treat.
I'm allergic to peanuts, so I'm fucking lame. I do the classic Hershey's bar. I love a Rolo, but my favorite Halloween candy, whenever I had it in the bag as a kid, this is going to sound awful. You guys are going to hate me, but the gummy Krabby
I
Patties.
saw him at the store. the
My
other day.
fucking favorite. I can't eat shit. Like Reese's Cups, Mounds Bar, Snickers, all that shit was going right to my family. Like I got like a Kit Kat, a Twix, and yeah. So Hershey's bar.
Back in the day, I was a big. I like chocolate. Obviously, everyone likes chocolates, especially if you ever got like a Milky Way Midnight in that thing. You're a little
Milky
bit-
Way Midnight fucks hard.
You're
Dude.
a little bit.
I
lit.
love a Milky Way Midnight, dude. They are
See?
so good.
See?
Yeah,
But
the nougat.
honestly, back in the day, it was pretty lit if I got some like Sour Patch Kids or Swedish Fish, bro.
Okay.
I like a good Sour Patch Kid.
There we go. Yeah, me personally, love Reese's.
Damn it.
And then on top of that, I really
Yeah.
like the Crunch Bars.
Okay.
Crunch Bars are awesome. I love it. Aside of
had-
that, let's see a candy one.
You ever had Take 5?
No.
Mm.
And then
See,
the
See, I'm
last
like
one
on the
would be-
outside looking in. I'm like Squidward watching everyone run around on Halloween. I'm like, here's my fucking Hershey's bar, my goddamn gummy Krabby Patty, and
And
my
then,
Smarties that suck. You can smoke them.
My last one would be a Starburst. I like
Starburst,
a lot.
Starburst,
Especially the pink ones. The pink ones are my
Starburst were
absolute
good. Starburst were good.
Starburst can play.
If you give me a yellow one though, get fucked. I don't want that shit. No, it tastes terrible.
No, I specifically like only sort out the pink ones, and I'm like, all right, everyone else can have the rest.
Hell yeah.
Whatever. But that pretty much wraps up Week 9 of NFL Game Picks. Come back next week for another episode. Double
Yeah.
digits finally.
Yeah.
We'll be in Week 10, and it'll
10.
be post Halloween. So
Yeah, happy Halloween, everybody.
Things might get spooky over this week, and let's see what
Yeah.
happens.
We'll see.
It definitely will.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys so much for watching. See ya.